Hey everyone, welcome back. This is our second video over Make Ahead meals. I don't know what I should title it though. Make Ahead meals? I don't know. Oh, I don't need 3 gloves. I only have 2 hands. Okay, so this video is going to be quick, easy ground beef. So we have 5 pounds of raw ground beef in here. Sorry, brain fart. And then I've already browned up 5 pounds and then drained the fat off over here. And the 4 meals we're going to do are, excuse me, meatloaf and meatballs and sloppy joe and stir fry. They're all really, really good, really, really quick and easy. I have vegetables that I already chopped, so I had chopped up vegetables in the freezer already. And then garlic, these little green things here are garlic scapes that we chopped up and froze into little balls a few months ago. So yeah, make sure it was frozen. So yep, thawed out. Okay, awesome. Before I get my hands in here, actually, so the meatballs and the meatloaf are going to have very similar ingredients in the beginning. Let me see here. So egg, we're going to put egg in both. We're not going to do the egg yet because I got to change my gloves. Breadcrumbs. Right here. I don't know how much I'm going to use because 5 pounds is a lot, and I'm not following anybody's recipe. This is my own recipe. So we've got garlic in the form of garlic scapes, breadcrumbs. I don't know, a little bit more. Why not? I should do it. And these are breadcrumbs. Just when I have like extra bread or buns or whatever, I will just dehydrate it and put it in the food processor and crumble it up and then keep it. I store it in the freezer. I don't know if you should store it in the refrigerator, freezer, pantry. I don't know, but just in case, I'll put it in the freezer. Just put it right here. Okay, we're gonna put some Worcestershire sauce in here. Smidge A1. Quite a bit of salt because this is 5 pounds. Some thyme. Oh. Actually, let's have something working for us. So stir fries here, and this will be sloppy joe mix here. And they're divided up somewhat evenly. This is probably about 2 pounds or so of the browned ground beef here. It's cooled down, so let's turn the heat back on. Put it on medium. Let's put it on high because we're going to boil the water. So next in our stir fry is going to be rice. So we're going to do 1 cup of rice. Should we do more than 1? Yeah. We're going to do like 1.5 cups of rice. 1.5, which is going to be 2.5 cups of broth or water. And I think I'm going to do broth. So I make my own broth and then I freeze it, and this is hopefully thawed out all the way. So 2.5 of these. That's exactly what this was. Hey, got lucky. I'm gonna stir this so that the rice is mixed in and kind of push it down a little bit. That way, the rice is covered with liquid. I actually usually cook this with enough liquid to where all the rice is covered. It's kind of level. So I'm going to add more liquid and more rice. I'll just do water. Oh, I closed the bag. That's not going to work. Okay, so another 1/2 cup of rice. Measure the water too. And a cup of water. Hey, got a cup there. All right, that's better. Okay, so our meat's already been cooked, the grease drained off. And now we're just adding the rice and cooking, we're cooking the meat again basically, but it's no big deal. All the flavors will come together that way. And then garlic, onion, bell pepper. And you just add however much you want or you feel like. The rice takes a while to cook, so all this will have time to soften. I'm not going to stir it in because I don't want the rice to surface and not be covered with liquid. So this is going to cover the rice and the meat mixture. Just kind of press it down a little bit. I'm done with this plate. Salt and pepper is usually all I put in it. A little bit of seasoned salt sometimes too. It's not coming out yet. There we go. Okay. You'll probably need more salt than that. We're going to add some seasoned salt. Pepper. Actually, I probably shouldn't have added too much pepper because there's already pepper in the chicken broth. You can add like garlic powder and onion powder too if you want, but there's already garlic and onion in there, so I don't feel the need to add the powdered version of that. Seasoned salt. Awesome. And now it just cooks for however long the rice needs to cook. Let's see what it says. Okay, so once it's come to a boil, it needs to simmer with the lid on for 15 minutes for this particular rice. And that's what we got there. Meat, rice, onion, garlic, bell pepper, salt, pepper, seasoned salt. It has come to a boil. This lid doesn't fit perfectly, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so while the stir fry is doing its thing, we will work on this part. I'm going to need the scoop for the meatballs and then parchment paper. So Princess Evan does not like onion or bell pepper in his meatloaf or his meatballs. Okay, I'm going to preheat the oven real quick to 400. We are going to start forming our meatballs. All right, well, that's a lot of meat for some meatloaf. So I think we'll do another dish of meatballs. I'll put them both in at the same time, actually. Okay, stir fry has 30 seconds left. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Ooh, looks good. That's a good ratio of meat and rice and vegetables. We're gonna check on that. We're gonna check a few pieces of rice to make sure it's done. The rice is still a little chewy. So I've added a little bit more liquid to it and put it back on the stove. Okay, so I added a cup and a half more of water, have the heat on low, lid back on, and I put a little bit more salt in there. And should be good soon. All right, 25 meatballs in each. So I got 2 meals worth of meatballs. The oven is preheated. Okay, now we're gonna make 2 meatloafs out of this, and this one's gonna go much faster than the meatballs. So Evan does not want bell pepper or onion in his, so we'll do his first. The green part of the garlic, I'll just have to tell him that it's an herb, which, I mean, it's used for flavoring, so it kind of is. It's not a pepper, and he's usually okay with that. Like if parsley's in his food or something, he's okay with that. So he should be fine with green garlic herb in his meatloaf. Okay, so that's about the size of a loaf pan, or at least one of mine. And we'll do it again, but we're gonna add these green peppers and onions into this one and mix them up. Okay, that should work. That should be good. 2 meatloafs done. Okay, let's give the rice inside the stir fry another try. I'm good with it. So, whew, maybe I shouldn't have added that, that extra salt. Ooh. Oh well, it's all good. Okay, stir fries done. Meatloaf's done. Meatballs almost done. And then now for the sloppy joe. So let me get this out of the way. We're gonna clean the raw meat cooties off of the counter. And this is Branch Basics, so I'm not worried about spraying it near any of this food because it's not toxic. You literally wash your fruit with it at the same time as you clean everything else in your house. Branch Basics is a concentrate that cleans everything. Bathrooms, laundry, kitchen, everything. And then just for good measure, this is an alcohol wipe. Okay, this is cooled down. Since I cooked it, it's cooled down. Sloppy Joe. We got a bunch of meat here. Again, we're not measuring anything because I don't know how much meat I have here and I don't feel like weighing it. I'm not taking the time to do that. So, for this massive amount of meat, which is probably close to 2.5 pounds, we're gonna do a whole bottle of ketchup. You can do tomato sauce and tomato paste. I see a lot of recipes with that. I'm just doing ketchup. Tastes amazing. I'm gonna put a little bit of hot sauce. This is actually my homemade hot sauce. It's ghost pepper hot sauce. Let's see, smidge of Worcestershire sauce. Brown sugar, which I made myself, I'm very proud of. White sugar and molasses blended together. Garlic. And then I would do onion and bell pepper, but Princess Evan does not want that. So, let's see, mustard. Okay, we're gonna do onion powder since we're not adding any onions to this. We'll do some onion powder. Last time I made it, I added a smidge of barbecue sauce, which kind of goes with ketchup and sugar. I believe I added honey the last time as well. Oh, I have not opened this honey. That'll work. Let me get some water in here real quick. All right, let's heat it up and then taste it. Let me look at the meatballs. Okay, meatballs, probably give them another 10 minutes in the oven. Last thing we're gonna do while we wait is we're gonna go ahead and prepare the sauce for the meatballs. And then we can freeze this. By the way, everything we're making here can be frozen. So you can make it now, stick it in your fridge, or if you're making a massive batch of all this, but you don't need a massive batch, kind of like I'm doing on accident because I'm using 10 pounds of meat, then you can freeze it. So refrigerator, freezer, dish it up in individual servings or big Tupperwares, whatever you want to do. Everything freezes, everything thaws, and everything cooks up just fine. We're going to make the sauce, and we're going to freeze the sauce, and it's going to go with the meatballs. So, actually, I think I need 2 of these because we have 2 meatballs, and I didn't intend on having 2 meatballs when I got this out. So let me grab another one real quick. Okay, so for the meatball sauce, I like to use basically a spruced up barbecue on top of my meatballs. Oh, yeah, that's what I think. It needs to cover the 8x8 pans and 25 meatballs. I like a lot of sauce too. I don't want to taste just meat, I want to taste like the sauce and the seasonings and all that. And then I put a little bit of hot sauce. This stuff's pretty hot, so like literally just a little bit. Honey. Let me get a spoon. We're gonna put some brown sugar in here as well. A1. Most people just put ketchup on top of their meatloaf. I think that's too boring, and I like it sweeter. Like the meat is salty and savory, and the top is sweet. the sauce, I mean. Okay, so let me think. Is that gonna be enough to go on top of the meatballs? What do you think? Let's do a little bit more. And then if it's not, we'll just add a little bit of ketchup or barbecue or whatever and mix it all up. It'll be good to go. Going to try it. Yeah, it's nice. Actually, spicy, sweet. There is a lot of ketchup. I think I was putting more. Okay, I was picturing meatloaf sauce, but I'm making the meatball sauce, not meatloaf sauce. Okay. Actually, I could do this again, just like this, and put on the meatloaf. But for the meatball, let me get another spoon. For the meatball, it needs to be sweeter. And okay, this is meatball sauce. I wouldn't have added as much ketchup if my brain wasn't thinking meatloaf. And I was talking about meatloaf when I did that, wasn't I? Pretty sure. All right. Yep. All right, that's better. Okay. We're gonna go with that. And we're gonna label it now too, so we don't screw up. Meatball sauce, done. Let me get another container out. Since I'm gonna cook both meatloafs at the same time, one for Evan, one for me. Mine has the pepper and onion in it. I just need one container of sauce to put over the top of both. We'll do the same sauce. So let me just go ahead and make a label now. Meatloaf sauce. You're my witness. I labeled it right. Okay, so this is for meatloaf, so it is going to be mostly ketchup based, but a sweet ketchup. I keep dirtying spoons. I need to get another spoon again. And we need to make a pretty big batch because it needs to go over 2 meatloafs. And I like it saucy. I like a lot of sauce on top. So I'm gonna add a little bit more ketchup and a little bit more honey. And we did 2 heaping spoonfuls of brown sugar. Add some barbecue. Worcestershire sauce. Just a little bit. That stuff can get kind of strong and tangy. A1, just 'cause. Hot sauce. Okay. So it should be very similar to the meatball sauce, but not quite as sweet. A little bit more of the ketchup-y tang to it. Oops, excuse me. Okay, I think that this looks like enough for 2 meatloaves. So it's going to be gritty like the meatball sauce because of the sugar is not dissolved, but it will be when it's cooked. Sweet, spicy, and ketchup-y. Good. Well, so hopefully our meatballs don't end up tasting like we're eating bite-sized meatloaf pieces. But oh well. If it's not good, I'll add more barbecue sauce. It'll be fine. Sweeten it up. Okay, let's taste our sloppy Joe mix. I just want to make sure it's not going to have too much mustard in it, or have too much of that mustardy tang, and also be sweet like it's supposed to be. That's a big spoonful. Oh well. Yeah, that is good. Okay. So without any measuring, did a pretty good job. I'm gonna take all the meatballs and put them on paper towel. I just kind of ripped a few pieces off. It's the very end of the roll, so it's all ripped up. Anywho, do this. So you want to, so depending on the kind of meat you're using, if it's got quite a bit of fat in it, you know, the cheaper stuff, then you want to make sure you cook your meatballs until they're done completely. So like if they're like close to done, but you're not sure yet, look at how much grease is in the bottom of the pan. See all that? Hopefully you can. So they're done completely when the grease is, all the grease is out in the bottom of the pan. If you don't cook them long enough, then when you go to cook them later and you put the sauce on, you're gonna have a big, saucy, greasy, disgusting mess. So cook them all the way first. That is my warning to you. I'm gonna put these in a freezer bag. Let them sit for a few, get all that grease soaked up into the paper towel. I'm gonna freeze the sauce for the meatballs and meatloaf. The meatloaf is already in the freezer. These are gonna go into the freezer when they cool down. Sloppy Joe tastes good. I'm gonna dish some up for the refrigerator and some up for the freezer. And the stir fry, I'm gonna do the same. Some for now and some for the freezer. So essentially we made 4 different meals. But if you do 10 pounds like I just did, and your family size is kind of small, then you just made 8 to 10 meals, maybe even 12, just depends. So yeah, we made quite a bit. So, and you just gotta make your sides. So like mashed potatoes, or like for me, it's usually mashed potatoes, and then since I harvested so many green beans from the garden, I'll steam green beans. And so make the 2 sides, which does not take as long as the main part, the meat. I mean, mashed potatoes do, because I do make them from potatoes, actual real potatoes, so that kind of does take a while. But, and I've, in a previous video, if you watched it, I did an 1.5 hour freezer meal marathon. Like, we did like 20-something meals all. It was really long. A lot of meals were done, and the freezer was full, and we were good for a while. So on that day, I made a whole bunch of mashed potatoes and froze them. And when you freeze your mashed potatoes and you reheat them, get them really, really hot and stir, and they go right back to normal, exactly how they were if you made them fresh. So you can do that as well if you want to. But yeah, so this is just meal prep I want to do, and good on meals for a while. I'm going to do a chicken one next. So like I said, subscribe, turn on your notifications. The next video I post will be the chicken meals. For same kind of thing, eat now, refrigerate, freeze, whatever, and yeah, and you're good. You got a variety. You got beef, and you got chicken. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna get everything packed up and in the freezer, and this mess cleaned up, and I will see you later. And I post every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday, so look out for the next video. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this helps you. Leave me a comment and let me know some of your favorite, quick, easy kinds of meals you like to do. And I would love to try them out. I like trying new things. So I'll see you later. Bye.